Welcome, this is JP Miller with Reach, and today I'm going to show you how to test your DApp on Algorand. So we're going to go to our new developer portal here, docs.reach.sh/en for English/essentials, and soon we'll have languages and multiple languages of support, but for now you'll start here at the essentials page and then we'll go to wisdom for sale. And I'm going to scroll down. There should be a little menu. Let's see if we can get that to pop up. Oh, I might need to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And for this, you can work through this. Hopefully you have already, but I just want to make sure that you know how you can test your DApp. And so we're going down to the very end, examine the web app. Examine the web app. So we've got a web app that's been created here. And we're going to check this out now, okay? So I'll minimize this a little bit. There we go. And we'll open up our Visual Studio Code. So I've got my directories or my terminals are open and I'm in my directory of choice. So right here I'm in my Words for Wisdom repository. I've made sure that everything's up to date. And let's just work through these instructions. So you can use reach down to turn down the Docker containers. The other command is reach docker-reset. That will do it as well. If you need help with the commands, you can type reach help. And we should get a list of our tool options here. Yeah, let me make this a little bigger so we can actually read that. And here we have the Docker reset. And there's the down command, so the reach down. Or reach docker reset if you need to reset your dockers. Down halts all the docker containers, and then we'll put them back, we'll bring them back up once we reach compile. Okay, so try to level that out again, clear that out. Okay, so we've got two terminals open. I've just opened my terminal in Visual Studio, and then I've created a bash. Usually start with just one shell. You hit the divider button one time and you'll get a second terminal. The instructions here walk you through all the different consensus networks that we support, but right now we're just focusing on Algorand. Okay, so we're in our terminal. We want to connect to Algorand's DevNet, so we'll use the command export and then in all caps reach connector mode. And those are separated by underscores, equals algo, which is also all caps, and then dash devnet, lower caps, or lowercase. Okay, so that connects your reach DApp to Algorand's devnet, and then we can run reach devnet, okay? So it's cut off a bit there, but reach devnet, this is going to run a process. While it's doing that, we're going to run this npm command in our terminal. This installs an HTTP server, npm node. So you'll run that command. You might need to run that with a sudo in front. So you might need to put a sudo in there so you can run your password. Actually don't need to run this, so I'm not going to. All right, and then what we do need to do is run the HTTP server. So we'll do that now. HTTP-server-c-1, give it a space and a -p, and then 8080. So we're going to create a HTTP server on localhost 8080. This will run so we can see our devnet is up and running here. And then we've got our HTTP server is up and running on localhost 8080. Okay, so we could either go to any of these IP addresses, or we can just do localhost. So I've got localhost up here. I'll refresh it just to make sure. So we're going to go ahead and refresh. You can see this is thinking. We're getting our background information. Okay, and we're up. So this is the Wisdom for Sale web app. So if you have a web app that you've created with your DApp, then you'll be able to test this. In this case, we have a selector. You probably won't have a selector since this is Algorand focused in this case. And we've got our deploy and our attach. So this left side represents our left terminal, and the right side represents the right terminal. Okay, so we're the seller. We're going to give a message. We can change the price for this wisdom, and we can deploy this, send it out. It's created a contract information, so we can see this created contract information over here. And now we want to attach, so we'll attach that. Okay, I've got a little bug. So if we look in I don't know if bug is quite the right word, but there's an error. So if we go in our inspector, we're going to see that the console for some reason is throwing us a big number value error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this and do a reach Docker reset. And this is just going to take a minute to think through. So this shouldn't take too long. And then what we'll do is run a reach compile just to be sure. Okay. So maybe it's good that we're seeing this so we can go through the troubleshooting. So if you experience some kind of an issue like this where you know your code is right, you're not getting any compile errors, got no failures, there's no errors. Okay, then what is it? Well, maybe you need to run a reach Docker reset. Okay, let's try that reach devnet again. And we can leave the HTTP server up and running. Okay, here we go. So our server's up. We're launching. It's not ready. Oh, maybe. Okay, just took an extra second. Maybe that Docker container was still thinking. And we'll go ahead and do a empty cache and hard reload. Okay. I think it'll work this time. It's having trouble finding a favicon. That's not a problem. We can ignore that. Okay, let's try this price again. We can see we're thinking over here. We'll deploy our wisdom. We have the contract information, and now we'll attach. Here we go. So we've got our modal is popped up. Do we want to purchase this wisdom for 10 algos? And yes, we do. Okay, here we go. So now as the buyer, we've received the Build Healthy Community. We paid 10 algos to the contract. The buyer paid the seller, and the contract paid 10 algo to the seller, and the contract paid 10 algo to the seller here. Cool. So here you can see how we can run the devnet. It operates our buyer and our seller. We can open up a server so that we can test on the web app. This allows you to play with your dApp, see what it'll do before actually deploying to the mainnet. All right, so thank you. That's it. If you have any questions, reach out in the Discord. You can ask us, and we'll do our best to help you through your troubles. All right, thank you.